Welcome, everybody, to Inside Green Day 21st Century Breakdown. My name is Madden, and, well, these guys need no introduction, but I'm going to give them one anyway. It's Billy Joe from Green Day.
Hi, how's it going?
Trey Cool's here as well.
Gabba gabba hey.
And Mike Dern.
I'm glad to be here, Madden.
We're sitting high above San Francisco right now in a swanky hotel room. It feels like exactly the kind of place that you might have thrown things out of in your younger, crazier days.
Like this morning?
It's like this morning.
Yeah, we were officially younger this morning. So
last time you guys were with me and we did this whole thing, American Idiot was just coming out, and it was sort of like the mood was kind of like, well, we're doing something really different. I don't know how people are going to react to it. I'd say it worked out okay, no?
things went well. Things are all right. With every record, you have to go into it thinking that either people think you lost your mind or that they're going to think that you're doing okay or you're totally sane. I have no idea. But no, the idea of doing, releasing like a 7-8 minute song, is like a little bit frightening, but I guess if you're scared, I guess you're doing something right.
You make this record, you win Grammys, you go on this huge tour, you wind up playing stadiums, you sell all these records, and does that create a new sort of environment when you come in this time? Like, wow, like is there more pressure or is there less pressure when you're coming to sit down and make another record?
I think every record has, pressure to it. I mean, there's the older that you get, that's the biggest challenge is how do you kind of rise to the occasion, and so there's definitely pressure on this record just to try to outdo ourselves. And there's a lot, you just have to have a lot of patience and take a lot of time. And that's sort of, as a band, what we decided to do, So it was, it's daunting, but you kind of, that's what has to fuel your fire to begin with,
Do you know how people say you get, if you get rich enough, you have FU money?
Sorry, I just coughed up a $100
bill. In some sense, you guys kind of have, not FU money necessarily, but you have sort of FU creative capital, right? Like you could basically make any kind of record you want, right?
FU stands for what exactly, Madden?
Forget you.
That would be FY.
Forget you, yes.
I think that's kind of part of the pressure, too, is that you have a lot of different directions that you can go, but
I mean, there's definitely that aspect to it. We have, it afforded us the luxury of taking more time to make the record, which, we took on as a serious, fun time and endeavor.
A long time ago, I think we always had sort of a mantra, just write good songs, And, at the time, I think, when you're 21 years old and you're saying, just write good songs, we're just going to write good songs. I think you don't realize how difficult that is, So it's just diving into being a musician and a songwriter and just trying to go to places you never went before,
Right. And so you wound up with 18 songs on 21st Century Breakdown, which will be out Friday, May 15th. And we're going to hear a song off of that now. This is the one you probably heard on the radio before. It's Know Your Enemy. Now, tell us a little bit about what's happening in the song. Because I look at the lyrics to Know Your Enemy, and it's very catchy, and you kind of find yourself singing it. But there's a sort of an undercurrent, a watch out for you who you obey kind of undercurrent happening in the song.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of empowering yourself to question everything and kind of declaring your own independence, which I think has always been sort of a theme with us, in all of our records. But yeah, it's it's a big, bold, strong, broad stroke. So it's Know Your Enemy.
Know Your Enemy from Green Day off of a 21st Century Breakdown in stores Friday, May 15th. Green Day is here for this Inside Green Day 21st Century Breakdown. Have you guys actually spent a lot of time listening to the record? I mean, I'm sure. You've been living with the songs, but it hasn't really been finished for that long, right?
Actually, I sat down last night and listened to it really, really effing loud in my living room, and it was cool.
The record, there are two characters on this record, right? Christian and Gloria. And, I've got the lyric sheet right here, and I've tried to sort of decipher the story. You don't have to give the whole album away, but what exactly happens to Christian and Gloria over the course of the 21st Century Breakdown?
Well, I don't really think there's a story, so to speak, with this record. I think that the personal side, it could be sort of like a romantic couple or whatever, but I think it's just like two sides, like the schizophrenic side of the record, where Gloria kind of represents someone that's sort of holding on to some kind of vitality and through coming of age and getting older, and so she's sort of like this like torchbearer, is like as far as holding on to beliefs and punk rock and all that, and then where I think Christian is sort of this self-destructive person that's run by his own demons, and he kind of wants to burn the whole place down. So, and I just think that there's certain moments that just kind of reflects different symbolisms. I think that's what they are. They're just more symbolic. More than they are sort of like a linear story, you know.
All right, we're going to check out a track called East Jesus Nowhere. And I understand it was inspired by kind of a specific experience in church, Trey.
I went to church with Billy Joe, and I was a little giggly, and just kind of watching the contradictions and the passing around the hat and all that good stuff. It's something we don't really see that often, and to be that close to it is to actually know your enemy.
Like, it's kind of an angry song. Was there something that happened that sort of made you go,
Oh,
It's a hymnal. What are you talking about?
I think it's more just like, it's a call against the hypocrisies of religion more than anything, more than, speaking out about any particular, it's because there's a lot of hypocrisy in religion. Probably more so than anything else on the planet.
Yeah, it's like, I think that, like, to have like a spiritual background or whatever. I think the whole point of it is to sort of look at your own humility or something, where I think a lot of people use it as power to actually become sort of God themselves, so or play God you see it in, you see it in 8 years of George Bush, you see it in suicide bombers, and, you just see it in, every day. It's like you see it within the year that we live in right now. It's all sort of by Christian design. So it's and just to question it and have doubt. It's okay to have doubt. It's okay.
Yeah, nice. All right. Well, this is East Jesus Nowhere. And we're back. It's Inside Green Day's 21st Century Breakdown. I am Madden, joined by the members of Green Day. Thanks for showing up again, guys. Seriously, it wouldn't be the same without you.
Thank you for having us.
All right, 21st Century Breakdown is a record in 3 acts, right? Mm-hmm. When you're putting together a record like this, how do you go about constructing a record that's going to have these sort of thematic ties through it?
We sat down last summer and we went in with Butch Vig to we get into pre-production and doing demos, and I read everybody the lyrics just sitting down, and we just started noticing different themes. Well, and also that it's like Billy's incredibly disturbed. That was also thought about too. But it was but I just started seeing different themes. So you're looking at because there's so many lyrics. It's just a lot of stuff. So to get your head around. So so we started noticing like the themes of like heroes and cons was in there, and then charlatans and saints, and then horseshoes and hand grenades, and there's so much material that we kind of want to try to give it some kind of just something easier to get your head around, and kind of look at it as sort of 3 different parts, or it could even be looked at as like 3 EPs combined into 21st Century Breakdown, but it has to sort of reflect sort of the